You are tuning into the TUF 23 blog for The Ultimate Fighter at Syndicate MMA with MMA Junkie.
This week was the fight between Josh and Abdel. Abdel had recently gone home to deal with some personal issues. He was able to come back and able to get in there and get some training and get into the fight.
We figured Abdel, might have been coming back on some emotion, having to deal with his wife and stuff like that. So we know how well-rounded Josh is, and so for him to have that fight against Abdel, we thought it would be the perfect matchup.
We didn't really know exactly what to expect. We didn't know if Josh would want to keep it standing or go to the ground because Abdel has a good boxing background. So we figured he'd kind of want to take it to the mat. The plan with Abdel was to throw lots of hands. He kind of strayed from the game plan a little bit in the fight and did a lot more pressuring up against the cage. But when he did throw his hands, he was able to have success. So we were trying to encourage him to do more of that.
It was a really exciting fight. The first round was pretty close, but we thought that Josh had it in the books and in the bag, and we were excited for him. In between rounds, we were all just ready for the second round. We were ready to see what Josh was going to pull out of his hat.
Second round, almost the same thing, but I think all I can remember is that head kick. As soon as he kicked him right on the chin, I jumped out of my seat. I think they even showed it. I just jumped up. I was so excited. I think Josh and I, aside from Corey and I, had the closest connection in the house. He was on my team. He was my boy. We talked every day. We hung out every day. We trained every day. So to see that type of outcome of the fight, it was super huge, and he got us our first win. So I think that that definitely helped us out a little bit.
So in this episode, you also see that I am dealing with an injury. It actually happened a little while ago. It happened during the Khalil fight. I hurt myself a little bit there, and I've been dealing with it ever since. After the Khalil fight, I took a day off as I just had 2 fights in a week, and I was a little banged up. And then 2 days later, I wanted to get in there to help Andrew get ready for his fight with Myron. I want to be a good training partner. Those guys were there to help me. I want to be there to help them. So I get in there and I'm trying to train, but I'm just not really able to do much. I'm getting a lot of pain, a lot of fatigue too, just from the 2 fights, but a lot of pain, and it's really limiting my ability to help.
It was really sad to see Corey going through his second injury on the show. He was really suffering. Anytime we were doing anything, he had to lay down and kind of rest his shoulder and his arm on a table or on the floor, anywhere. So it was just really sad to see him in so much pain, even though he kind of keeps it inside. He doesn't really complain or anything. But yeah, it was just really sad to see that, and we weren't sure whether or not he was gonna be able to move forward with the competition. So it was a lot of mixed emotions.
My coaches saw me in a tremendous amount of pain and felt bad for me, and they suggested some acupuncture. I'd never tried it, don't know a whole lot about it or anything, but I'm willing to give it a shot. To me, it's better to try something than to just sit there and do nothing. It helped me mentally, just that, something was being done, whether it was going to work or not. Just the fact that something was being tried to ease my pain, helped me mentally. So that night, they brought an acupuncturist to the house, and she did her thing on me. Didn't really help. I'm not saying stuff doesn't work or anything like that, but just my particular injury didn't really help me much. So it was kind of disappointing, but you never know unless you try, and I'm willing to give it a shot. You got to do what you got to do to heal up and get back in the game.
To see that he was dealing with something so serious, it actually it hurt a little bit. I tried to put myself in his shoes and just realized this is a very, 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 crappy situation. So I did my best to support him, just to be there for him, make sure that he was okay. Every day I'd check on him and make sure that, his injury was okay. People would ask me, and there was always talks of Corey, he's injured, blah, blah, blah. And I think in my mind, I always just wanted to focus on him getting better. Selfishly, I could have been okay, cool, I hope he doesn't, recover and stuff like that. But just knowing the guy, being friends with the guy, I was, the whole time I hoped that he would pull through, and I just showed as much support as I could.
So at the end of the episode, you see that next week I get my results from my MRI and find out what my diagnosis is. Through this whole thing, basically, I'm a little bit nervous about it because I've never really dealt with an injury quite like this before, but still I've had plenty of injuries, and it's always just a matter of time. So in my mind, I just need a couple days and I'll be good enough to train, and then a few more days after that and I should be 100%. That's typically how it goes. You just rest up a little bit and you're good to go. My main worry was I don't want to have to pull out of the competition just because of this injury. You know, I'm here to fight. I'm here to win. I don't want to quit for this, especially when I have plenty of time to recover before my next fight.
The next matchup is Kate Jackson versus Ashley Yoder. It's going to be a really exciting fight. They're both tall fighters. They're both exciting fighters that kind of just keep going and going. Kate's got more of a clinch and grappling game, and Ashley's just a well-rounded fighter, so it's going to be a really exciting fight.
Ashley trains out at Dan Henderson's. She's got some good jiu-jitsu and some good kicks. Kate is one of the more experienced girls on the show. She's actually fought Joanna before. She's pretty well-rounded and real tough, so it should be a good fight.
Ashley, in practice, was one of the only girls that I saw that was constantly giving Joanna like a run for her money in practice, you know, like whether it be striking or on the ground, like they were constantly having scramble, you know, it was good competition. And knowing that Kate Jackson had fought Joanna in the past, you know, I thought that was perfect. It's like, cool, Joanna's fought her already and Ashley's training with Joanna, so they kind of had that connection there, you know, so I think for me, I was very excited for this matchup. Thanks for tuning in to this week's TUF 23 Syndicate recap. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. I am at war_Khalil. Corey is at Corey H MMA. Jamie is at Loveboat Jamie, and Syndicate MMA is at Syndicate MMA. So check us out on there. Give us a follow. Stay tuned. You know, hear what we got to say, hear what we think, and can't wait to talk to you guys and see you guys again. Thank you.